Today, I'm here to tell you about the worst meal I've ever had at Universal Orlando. And I know I make a lot of jokes about Mel's, but I am really here to warn you about the Toothsome Chocolate Emporium. Over the last year, the food has been going downhill. I honestly don't know why I keep going back, but they had advertised a special menu for National Chocolate Day, so I thought, okay, let me give it a shot. So I go and I ordered, there's a fondue, there's a chicken, there was also a lamb that I didn't get, and some strawberries and chocolate. So I order some of the menu, and the fondue comes with raw veggies, a couple pieces of apple, and then some of the chocolate bread like crostini. And I'm thinking, I love fondue, I love cheese fondue. I went to dip the cauliflower in the cheese, and just before I dipped it in, I noticed the cauliflower is covered in mold. So I start looking at the rest of it, and it's all the cauliflower is moldy. And seriously moldy. So I kind of call over the server, and I'm trying to be quiet about it and polite about it. I'm just like, hey, this looks like it's really moldy. And he kind of looks at it and doesn't really say anything. He just picks up the plate and goes off with it, like the entire plate. And he comes back and he's like, oh, they gave you extra cauliflower. And he puts the plate down in front of me, and there's just this pile of cauliflower that looks just as gross and moldy. Yeah, I'm kind of shocked at this point. He doesn't even apologize or say anything, and I'm looking at the cauliflower. It doesn't even look like it's been washed or rinsed. Like they just pulled this out of a bag somewhere and threw it on a plate. It's raw, it's gross, it's terrible. And it looks like this is in the early stages of mold. So I don't eat it. So then I even feel worse because I'm like, oh yeah, I bring up this cauliflower issue and he just brings me back more questionable cauliflower that I don't end up eating. So I feel bad that it's sitting there on the plate, but honestly, that needed to go in the trash. They really should have taken that off the bill. I'm really shocked that they just charged me for that. But I did not eat it. It was disgusting. The cheese was good, so I used the crostini and the apple to eat it, but the carrots were also did not look like they were washed. It just did not look like I was going to leave there without getting sick from this dish. So happy to pay whatever it was, $17.99, $18.99 to potentially get sick. And but so luckily that was the special. Also the chicken, though, the chicken I will say was good. The sauce was delicious. It had a rich kind of heavy port wine kind of sauce to it, but it had a little bit of a sweetness going on, almost like a chocolatey kind of thing going on. The chicken was perfectly cooked. I love the veggies there. I love the mashed potatoes. It was great. The vanilla chocolate cocktail was delicious. It's got chocolate shavings on the top. I really enjoyed it. The drinks are always great here. The chocolate strawberries, though, were awful. This, obviously, they prepared this maybe a day or 3 days in advance, who knows, because we ordered all of our food and these came out within 2 seconds and we waited forever for the food. These were clearly made in advance, and they're the chocolate is hard and frozen on it, so it's probably just been sitting in the fridge, which is fine. But when we got it and we tried to eat it, the chocolate is a hard shell, and it was bitter chocolate. It wasn't milk or dark. It was bitter. It was terrible chocolate. And I just couldn't believe it. A lot of the strawberries weren't that fresh either. So we ended up basically tossing this when we left. Again, this is the worst meal I've ever had at Universal Orlando. So if you're going to eat at Toothsome Chocolate Emporium, please proceed with caution.